Good morning, everyone. Okay, so if you're on here, I'm assuming it's because you want to hear about money. So I decided to do this video because over the past, I would say 6 months, I've tried to change my lifestyle drastically. And the way that I was raised, the way that I was brought up, so I live in North Carolina now. I was raised in Massachusetts. Money's very different in Massachusetts. It's a lot more expensive to live there. And I was raised with not a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of money growing up. My parents lived paycheck to paycheck. A lot of times we didn't have money to pay our bills. There was a stint of time where we lived in a motel because we didn't have money to pay the rent, and we had moved from another state, and we literally did not have money to put down on a house or, first month's deposit for a place to live. So we had to live we lived in a motel. It was me, my dad, my mom, my sister, brother, and our animals in a motel room. And we lived there for like 4 months because we didn't have the money to do anything else. So the way that I was raised, I was not raised to be like, I want this and I got it. I was raised where I didn't ask for things because I knew my parents couldn't afford it and I didn't want to hurt their feelings. So I started working when I was very young because I have expensive taste and I wanted certain things and I knew that they couldn't afford them. So I started working when I was 12. And I've literally been working since then, which is not a bad thing. I have great work ethic, but I was determined to make something of myself in life so I didn't have to live paycheck to paycheck. So I had money in savings so I could have the things that I wanted. And that's what I did. I created something that allows me to live a different lifestyle. And that's really what I want to do this video about, is more about lifestyle, because here's the thing, y'all. We live a certain way and we spend a certain amount of money. However, when you start coming into a good amount of money and you see that first paycheck, and it could be with Scentsy, because y'all know I'm with Scentsy, or it could be with a different direct sales company, which could go for a lot of other people up here, or it could be a different area of the workforce completely. When you see that first paycheck and it is like double, triple, quadruple what you're used to, your natural reaction as a human is to be, you want to spend it. You're like, oh shit, I've never seen this kind of money before. I want to spend that money. However, when that happens, you get into a routine of living that lifestyle, of living with those paychecks instead of how you lived before those other paychecks were coming in. And that's what I want to talk about, because when you do that, you can get out of control very quickly and you start living a certain way. And what if that money is gone tomorrow? How are you going to maintain that lifestyle that you've now become accustomed to if you don't have a backup plan and if you are seriously living outside your means? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I've changed my lifestyle a lot. And that's really what I want to bring to you guys today, because it is so important. So some of you guys know, some of you don't. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 8 years now. So I was making roughly 65. And money is something that people don't talk about enough. And I'm very open about money because it's an education. And we all need to learn from each other. So, and if we talked about money more, we would know better. When you know more, you do more. When you don't know, you don't know. So let's talk about it. Let's educate ourselves. When I was a nurse, or I still am a nurse, but nursing, I made anywhere from 65 grand a year to 70 grand a year. So I was living a certain way. And then of course that's great money. But as a single mom, with kids who are growing every second and eat everything in my household, it was tough sometimes. I struggled a little bit to pay the bills. Let's be serious. And, then I started doing Scentsy and started making really good money. So I don't know if I'm supposed to tell y'all this or not. Maybe somebody's going to turn me in. Maybe they're not, but hopefully they won't, because this is an education and learning time. I made 15 grand yesterday or 2 days ago. I made 15 grand last month. I made 15 grand the month before in Scentsy, in my direct sales business. Okay. Now, I started making that kind of money maybe 6 months ago, a year ago. I started making really good money probably a year ago, 2 years ago. And when that happened, I started living a different lifestyle. The first thing I did a little over a year ago, I bought a Range Rover. I bought a black on black Range Rover. I've wanted that car forever. It's a sick car. I love it. However, do I need that car? Do I need a $60,000 vehicle? No, I don't. However, I felt like I did because I had the money to buy that vehicle. Well, guess what? Now that car has cost me more money in 2020 than almost anything else has, because there's been so many things that have gone wrong with it, because some of those Range Rovers are not very reliable. So I've had to put a lot of money into it. The other thing, housing wise, when people start making money like this, they decide to buy these ginormous houses that, in all actuality, if Scentsy was gone tomorrow, or if that big paycheck was gone tomorrow in whatever area of your life, could you pay that mortgage with whatever else you have coming in? Probably not. So what happens then? We keep living outside our means, and it happens to all of us. It happened to me. I started seeing those paychecks come in, and I started spending, and I started spending and spending. And at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to take that paycheck that God has given you, that big lump of money, and just blow it, because that's not being a responsible adult. And also, you don't need to do that. A couple things, like bags. Okay. I've always wanted a Louis bag. I bought me a Louis bag. Great. I always wanted a YSL bag. That was like my dream black bag. So instead of going and spending $2 grand on a brand new YSL bag, I went to Poshmark and spent $200 on one. I've wanted a Louis duffel forever. That's a very expensive purchase. I went to Poshmark, bought one for a quarter of the price. Just because you want these nice things does not mean that you have to spend all this money because now it's in your bank account. You don't have to do that. You can save, you can put it in trust, you can do all these other things with it. That way it's going to be there when you need it. It's really, really, really easy to see that paycheck and be like, oh shit, I have all this money now. What am I going to do with it? And just blow it. Do you know how many people in Scentsy blow their money probably? Or do you know how many people in this world who have all these big ass paychecks blow their money, have no money in savings, have no money in savings for their kids? They have no backup plan. What happens if it's gone tomorrow and you're living this lifestyle that's completely outside your means? Simple things. Paper towels. I was literally just talking to my friend about this like 20 minutes ago. I blow through paper towels. So I started cleaning my counters with Counter Clean and a rag, because it works just as well. Because when you blow through paper towels, that's money, guys. That's something that when I was growing up, or even when I was just making the money I was as a nurse, I wouldn't have done that because I knew it wasn't cost efficient. But now that I have all this money, I've been over here just blowing through paper towels. But why? What if that money is gone tomorrow? I keep saying that over and over, but it's because it's reality. You don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not saying that our company is just like going to go to the wayside. However, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Legit. So you've got to plan ahead. Taxes. If you're making all this money throughout the year and you don't save every month for taxes, because y'all know that when you make that money up front and at the end of the year, you've got to pay on your taxes. If you don't have that money saved, you screwed, honey. My first year that I started making really, really good money, do you want to know how much I'm owed in taxes? $22,000. $22,000 hairs. I call them doll hairs. How much did Kristen Ingalls have saved up for that tax return? Hardly anything. I learned the hard way, y'all. That's why I'm telling you guys what I'm telling you, because I have learned the hard way how to do things, and I have educated myself and I have figured it out. And moving forward, I'm going to be smarter. Moving forward, I'm already being smarter because I have learned, I have been there. Save money every month for taxes. 10%. Also, invest that money, a certain amount of your money, back into your business. Invest in other areas, stocks, bond, trust, all that kind of stuff. Get a financial advisor, have them help you. Google stuff. Google is a fantastic thing. Go to your local bank, talk to them about it. But don't blow that money. Don't do a Kristen Ingalls and go buy a $60,000 vehicle that I didn't need. I'm trading that car in the next 3 months for a new 2021 Ford Bronco that's like 30 grand. And it is sick looking. You know why? Because I don't need that car. I don't need that $2,000 YSL bag. You know what I need? I told this to a girl the other day, and I wrote it in the notes section of my phone. Money does not talk to me. You know what does? Stability. Every human in this world craves stability. And if you tell me that you don't, you're lying. Money is not the answer. Stability is the answer. And if you don't realize that by now, then you need to start realizing that, because money is not the answer. Money changes people. Money does things that I don't really like to talk about. There are a lot of people in this world who have come into a lot of money. You know what it's done? It's changed them. It might have even changed me for a minute, but you know what? It's not going to change me. And sometimes it's not good the way people change when it comes to money, because guess what? At the end of the day, you're either a good human or you're not. You either need to be humbled or you don't. And if you come into a lot of money and it changes you to the core, you better figure out how to get back, because it's not what's important. You can have all the money in the world. You can have millions of dollars in your bank account. But two things. Number one, are you happy? Are you truly happy? Like at the core, are you happy with yourself, with the way you're living your life, your integrity? What you bring home, what happens when you die, it's your integrity that matters. That's how people remember you. I tell my boys that almost every other day. It's all about their integrity. My integrity is everything to me. It's everything to me. And the second thing, wait, what was the first thing? Number one, that. Number two, I can't remember because I lost it, but clearly it wasn't that important. I've done this thing lately where I lose something. If it starts to hurt because I try to find it, I just let it go. It'll come back eventually. But your integrity is everything. How are you living your life? Are you happy or are you not happy? And number two, I don't remember what it was, but it doesn't matter. But seriously though, y'all, we don't need to be spending this money. It's crazy. And at the end of the day, what is it going to do for you? What happens if your car breaks down and you just spent $2,000 on a bag and you don't have that $2,000 in your savings account to fall back on? Stop spending and living outside your means. If there's something that you wanted for a long time and you get that money and you're like, shoot, I need that, then get it. However, make sure that you can back that up. Make sure that you have that money put aside somewhere else in case something happens. The biggest thing that I see in this company and in a lot of other direct sales companies, and even all over the country with other people that I know who've come into money, one thing that I see big time is that they change their lifestyle to the extreme. One of the biggest things that I spend my money on, to be 100% honest, is traveling. That's where most of my money goes. And you know why? Because I'm creating memories. Traveling, you create memories when you find good food. You create memories when you're with your people. Memories are something that to me are priceless. And if you're not traveling, I know COVID and everything, but if you're not traveling with some of your money, I seriously encourage you to do that because memories are something that don't fade, guys. All this money, all these things, sorry, that like makes me emotional. All this money, all these things, it can be gone tomorrow. Gone. Taken from all of us, all of it, everything. That car can be gone tomorrow. I can get in a wreck and that car is gone. Maybe I'm gone. But you know what people are going to remember? They're going to remember who I am. They're going to remember what I am, my integrity. And they're going to remember what kind of person I was. And you know what's going to be gone? You know what doesn't matter? All the things. They're going to remember the memories that they created with me along the way. That's what they're going to remember. Not about what I had, what brand I was wearing. They're not going to care about that. And they don't care about that. So stop overspending. Stop taking that money and blowing through it. Use it for traveling. Invest it. Put it in a savings account for your kids. Use it smart. Stop feeling like you have to keep up with the Joneses. That was one of the biggest things with me. I felt like I had to keep up with everybody because I started making this kind of money. I was like, I want what she has, and I want what she has, and I want this. And guess what? That was the biggest mistake I've ever made. Don't do that, because you know what? You're not them, and they're not you. And you get to choose what you want, and you get to choose the way you live your lifestyle. You choose, not them. So choose smart. Choose financially smart. Choose smart for you. Choose smart for your soul. Choose smart for your integrity and what you're going to leave behind for everybody on this earth when you're gone. And that's all that matters. Be smart with your money. When you make that first 10 grand paycheck, you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, oh shit, what can I buy? What can you buy? Get yourself a prize. I'm not saying don't get yourself a prize. Get yourself a prize. But don't blow it. Don't blow through it. Be smart about it. Be smart with that money. I think that's it. I hope y'all have a good day, and I hope this really helps somebody because it is something that I am seriously on right now. So, bye.